Today, we're looking at the new patch notes for Ruby.
Update show. I'm Aggro. I'll be your
I'm going to adjust the audio real quick.
We got a sick show. Again, as per usual. It's not just about the Ruby Battle Pass, though. A lot of
that should be good.
A lot of the excitement, I'm sure, is going to be centered around that. We've also got Project Olympus updates. We've got game balance, new Odyssey skins. By the way, I got a little bit of a preview yesterday of some of these Odyssey skins. Unbelievable, man. I mean, a lot of these would be right behind me normally, you know, the kind of the splash art for these updates. Not this patch, because the Ruby Battle Pass, obviously huge news, but it's a big deal, a lot of these Odyssey skins. And then, of course, the ISIS visual update, something that you guys in the community have been asking for a very long time. We're happy to finally provide it. We're going to be able to take a look at that in just a little bit. Now, do remember that a lot of these updates that you'll see, this is all going to be going into effect for right around the SMITE World Championship, but not going to be in competitive play until after the SMITE World Championship. But that doesn't mean there's not a lot of excitement around it. We got to go into some updates right now. We've got Hindu Man and Isaiah, or excuse me, Ponpon. I was looking at Isaiah past the camera. Hindu and Ponpon standing by.
It is me and Isaiah. No, it's Pon. Of course it's Ponpon joining me for the patch notes section of the updates to the balance and state of the game, including bug fixes. Yep. Pon, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good today. It's a little bit of a busy day, but I got to do something really fun just right before this.
Let me move this.
Can't talk about.
I saw a little bit.
Fun.
You'll see it at Higher Ed Expo maybe if you go, or watch on stream. You know, big event. You may not have heard of it. Bug fixes is where we're going to start things off today. User interface. First of all, fix an issue where players' cosmetic item loadouts would reset at unintended times.
Yes.
Did you have that issue?
Yeah. So every so often you'd have these your ward skin that you really like, and then you just wouldn't have it. Looks like
that pod.
Good bug.
I thought they finally fixed the skins being
up. Did you not know about that?
I didn't know about that one in particular.
You're supposed to write these, right?
I mean, I write some of them.
Oh, okay. I thought it was always you. That's why I complained about the alphabet the whole time.
That part is always me.
Oh, okay. Well, let's check in on that later. Conquest. Fix an issue where the Pyromancer would not attack players who stood in specific spots.
Nice.
Curses. Guardians can't solo it anymore. Really sad.
Yeah, it shouldn't be soloable. At least not that easily.
No, it shouldn't. So that's fixed. The pathway will be clear there. Gameplay as well. Player-made walls will... Big one. Player-made walls will no longer be destroyed when deployed through towers or phoenixes. Obviously, there was an iteration where this went in for a second or two. There was a conversation about it.
It was meant to fix a specific issue, but the other gameplay concerns that arose out of it just destroying walls was worse than the initial case, and so we were trying to look at different solutions to fix the issue without causing those kind of changes.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I was tilted when my first email wall didn't work. Dual players will now always gain or lose MMR, regardless of the match length. Was there an issue there, I guess, for shorter matches?
Yeah, so we changed some of the early surrender rules, and that changed how duels interacting. That'll be fixed next patch.
Moving on then to Cumber Corner. Long one here. This is a bug fix, or is this a technical balance?
So this might actually just be something to discuss in general as a whole.
Yeah.
So we made a change where executes kind of bypass these passive resurrection effects.
Sure.
And the rules weren't exactly clear, and there's some cases where it wasn't applying in the correct way in multiple cases. The way it should work is if you have a passive that says, I'm going to resist death for a bit in some capacity.
Right.
If you are executed before that activates, it bypasses it. You don't get to use it.
Okay.
It won't cool down,
72
it won't
then.
act as if it was used. Like you won't just lose it, but it won't activate. If you are already in those states, you can't be executed. And there's an issue where Kumbhakarna right now currently can be executed still in that state. That's something we're looking to fix. That might make it this patch. It might be pushed to the next patch. But this basically outlines how those rules should work, how they should interact. And just make sure everything's clear.
So,
I thought Kumba was supposed to be a counter that we got.
Kumbhakarna can be executed, and his passive will not kick in. He will die. His passive will not be consumed.
Correct.
And on respawn, if he dies again, and it's not an execute this time, his passive will kick in then.
Yes, correct.
Same for Persephone.
Persephone is similar.
Yes. Right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure of that. And on top of that, we don't need to go through every single thing. Gods, however, with other abilities that prevent death, like Kali and Chiron, will not be affected by this change.
So the case here is passive. Yeah. The passive ones that do this. The other ones that resist death will still resist death in the way they are currently doing.
Gotcha. So the ultimate ones are going to be fine.
They have Chiron and Kali.
Cool. Project Olympus streamer mode update next. Fix issues where names were being shown in places where they should not have been where they should have been hidden. We've also removed the hide self option. Now, if players want to hide self, they will need to use the hide all option instead. This ensures players do not gain as much of a competitive advantage from hiding their name.
Yep, so there's some cases where you might know how a player would play based off their name because you've seen them in your matches before.
It's true.
So they would hide self to kind of keep that information hidden. We still want that option to be available because it's a strong tool for streamers and for anyone who wants to kind of remain more anonymous in game. But now you have to also hide the information you would be getting. You have to hide other players' information as well.
Good.
If you choose to hide yourself,
Fair.
you're also choosing to hide everyone else, so it's an even playing field.
Acquisition screen overhaul. The screen that shows players what items they have unlocked after quests or purchases have been redesigned. This screen will now more cleanly show what item players have obtained and how they can unlock it. And on top of this, this will now better support unlocking many items at once. So if you get a spam after a game of getting a couple of unlocks from hitting a battle
Oh,
pass
that
or
one. Yeah,
something like
nice.
that,
Nice.
It's gonna just go through clean.
It's a lot easier to go through. You see things more clearly. You know where they came from. All that stuff is just easier to use. You don't have like that one pop-up that kind of took a little bit to load, and you had to click through them all. It's much smoother.
Okay, and then moving on to Project Olympus update, a new feature, Team Composition Helper. Interesting. So this feature is being added in the lobby to help newer players find the right gods for their squad. Additional text in the lobby will now show up in the lobby to suggest things like team has too much or not enough of a damage type, magical or physical. Or
Good
team
idea,
specific
generally speaking.
guardian, etc. Interesting.
So whenever
For
we lock in
beginners.
mages and you're thinking about locking another mage, it'll be like, hey, maybe you want some more physical damage on your team.
But it doesn't force you or anything
No,
like
it doesn't
that.
force you.
It's just
It's a suggestion. It's saying like, hey, you might be missing this core component. We've seen having a more balanced team comp is actually pretty critical in having a good successful game.
Yeah.
And so we just want to give people like a, hey, we're gonna warn you that you're bypassing having a more balanced team comp if you want to.
Ranked matchmaking and split changes. This is an interesting one as well. A new split will be starting with this update. This update is due a couple of weeks' time. But there will be no MMR or variance reset in this. TP will reset, rewards will reset, God leaderboards will reset, no MMR reset, and no variance reset. Pom-pom, why?
Wow.
So MMR resets and variance resets have their purpose.
Yeah.
They allow for players to move when seasons reset. Often metas have changed, items have shifted. We want to kind of reevaluate where the player's skill is, and that also creates a meaningful sense of progression, right, as you're going through the rank season. We used to do only like rank split updates like 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And we moved to 6. And so the benefits of those kind of like every so often resets versus very, very frequent resets. The downsides of doing that is we're essentially saying we're adding uncertainty into the matchmaker. We are actively saying matches are going to be a little bit worse because we thought we had your number. We're making it less certain. And so that creates some downsides. So since we moved to 6, that kind of benefit that we got from like allowing players to move no longer really matches the pace at which we were resetting and moving people. We essentially kept adding too much uncertainty without players having the ability to kind of like add back to the system certainty again.
That makes sense.
So we're actually taking a new approach where we're letting True Skill do its thing. True Skill is a very like robust system. It's very well shown that it like when you let it run its course. It's
Sounds
very
like it's
good
a
at creating
friend.
matches
Oh, True
that
Skill do that for me.
Skill. We're gonna let it actually run its course. For Season 7, we might look at different ways of how we can actually add that uncertainty in more healthy ways. We're also going to be looking for how we can get that sense of progression back. But for this, we're going, because that's why you've seen like the complaints about people saying there's a quality of ranked matches dropping.
Sure.
Those frequent resets were contributing to that.
So it might be more difficult to lose TP because you're matched at your skill level already in the progressing season.
Correct, but we figure that most people are probably a little bit more off than they should be.
Sure.
And their variance is probably higher than it should be
So it's
already
gonna take a
because of those
while
frequent
anyway.
resets. So it'll take a while for that kind of thing to happen. By then, we'll have our answer to this.
Okay, well there you go. Nice update. On
Let's
the
see how
rank
that
skill.
goes.
Hopefully
Good
you guys
approach,
at
at
home
least.
Find that to be satisfactory. Moving on then to item balance. What's the focus for balance this week?
Just some fun stuff. We were looking
Yes,
at
go crazy.
items that
That always scares me
not
when you say fun
not
stuff.
that
Bum, bum.
fun. I
It
mean, it's
scares
still
me.
clearly fun, but we're just looking at things that were underperforming or underwhelming. Maybe there were a few meta picks that were a bit too overwhelming. We're just looking to hit those top meta picks. Also, look at items that were just underperforming or gods that were underperforming and give them a nice kick to kind of boost them.
Okay, let's find out. Arondight is the first item we're going to talk about this week. We're going to increase the physical power on this from 65
How did you just call
to
it?
75.
Ardent light?
Power.
Yeah, it's a lot of power. So the
Oh, a second
our
buff
39,
already.
You actually see Staff of Myrddin's also on this list. We've seen how people theory crafted them, and largely Failnaught and Pridwin has found their place. Theory crafters kind of figured out here's where it goes, here's where you want to.
saying Pridwin.
Well, shocker that this one didn't.
I had to like correct myself when learning it. Those have found their place, but Arondight and Staff of Myrddin are very, very, very niche if used really at all. So we want to make sure that they actually feel worthwhile buying. We feel like their passive benefits are really good. It's clearly Staff of Myrddin, right? Double casting ability is very strong.
Yeah.
And so its base stats were really, really weak to compensate for that, but we probably over-nerfed it there. Arondight also has a relatively strong passive effect. It needs a little bit more power to help it out as well, to compare with other damage items.
Makes Myrddin more interesting.
To make sure that they feel comparative to Failnot and Prudwin.
Arondight is just going to be relevant because it's getting so much power that you build it for that at some point.
20 power on that item. Finally, the last item in the balance section this week for items is Ethereal Staff. Cost increased. It's going to go up by 100 gold. Was 2,500. It's now going to be 2,600 gold.
Yeah, no surprise.
We're starting to see a lot more players this season. Why not?
Yeah, it was one of those items that like people kind of knew, like, okay, it's probably pretty good, and people built it more and more and more and more, and it's become a very popular item. People have understood its power level as a whole. We're just going to update its cost to better reflect that in the perception of power.
Okay, moving on then to gods and the changes to gods. Wait.
Yeah, so we have a lot.
So
of
we
stuff
just discussed that you do this bit.
Yeah. Well, okay. So,
Well, okay.
so two things.
You-
The first
we
one
just
isn't
discussed
an
you
actual
do the
balance
alphabetical
change.
order.
First one isn't a balance change; it's a quality of life update. Second one is the revert, and then after that, it's alphabetical order. And I'm just going to assume I'm correct without even looking.
So you're making excuses.
It looks correct.
Yemoja. Let's go to Yemoja first of all. Lots of bug fixes and quality of life fixes for Yemoja this update. We're not making any balance updates to her as of yet. These are just quality of life. Riptide. This target and now changes color when it is aimed in the location that would place the deployable in the opposite direction. So think a little bit like transformations.
Why did they not
Yeah,
just
so
do
it's
the
more
line
like that. You'll have better
showing?
feedback that the one you're about to place is going to be one way or the other.
Right.
And overall, for
That
why
seems
Emoji
weird.
hasn't seen any balance update this patch.
But I guess
New
whatever
god,
works.
Complex systems around her. People are still learning the character. She's probably on the underperforming side, but we've also seen over the course of this year where we have these kind of characters that have unique interactions and people need to learn the character, that sometimes just leaving them and letting that develop more gives us better insight on where to also buff the character if we want to.
That's a
or
good
if
idea
that
with
ends up being
Yemoja.
necessary. So
Even
we're
though
just
she's
holding
weak.
for now. We're watching Yemoja very closely. We're
In my
seeing all the
opinion.
feedback around Yemoja, but we want to give it a little bit more time.
One thing on that as well, it does say we've only got that one to show you on the show, which is Riptide, but the full patch notes after the show will list all those things, I believe.
I will probably
all the quality of life changes.
discuss that more there, but basically there are some combos with her that are really strong.
Freya,
So it's gonna be hard to balance her.
Old Freya, not new Freya, but
I'll talk about that in detail then.
Freya that's in a decent state of Freya. Tell me why.
I'm
I
just
guess
going
you've
to
already gone through
read
some of
the
this.
14-page
Do you want me to do it for you?
paper of that EJ wrote. Actually, if you are very interested in this topic, you should go
You
read
should.
that dev
Yeah.
blog. It has a
Yeah,
lot of
we've done
information.
that.
We also expose a whole bunch of like win rate statistics and ban rate statistics and picks over time. And we go over a lot of information. So if you're really curious on why we're doing the Freya revert, that is a good place to go. But yeah, we are trying to move her. We did the rework.
Yeah.
It had issues, and it really compounded the issue that she had, which was her hypervariance.
Gotcha.
And especially at pro level, like people were able to use her very, very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are going back to a state where she's healthier than she currently was, where we looked and saw that her ban rate and her win rate and her popularity was in a much healthier place. We're going to move her there, and you can go look at why we chose that patch in specific. But that is what we're doing this patch.
You'll find information for that dev blog post update on the social media as well. More important things on Freya. These are the most important things. Mystic Warrior has been reverted to Brisingaman's Blessing. Northern Light has been reverted to Irradiate. And Aurora Blade has been reverted to Pulse.
And Valkyrie's Discretion also got a balance change upwards. It's not on here, it's one of the things. But that's the other major change that she had, is reverting to that patch. Valkyrie's Discretion is a little bit stronger.
Oh, so
Banishment is the only ability that actually is purely unchanged.
I didn't know they
Gotcha.
changed
So
that part of
the
it
same,
as well.
but ult might be a little bit
Interesting.
more potent as well. That's Freya. Now we'll move on to alphabetical order, hopefully. Amaterasu is the first one on this list here. Divine Presence. Decreased benevolence aura movement speed from 5 to 25% is now going to be 5 to 21%.
Ooh,
So
she's getting a
upgrade
skin
nerf,
and a nerf,
start
guys.
Stay the same. And Dazzling Offense. Decreased base damage. It was 95 to 275. It's now going to be 80
Wait, what
to
part did they buff
260.
before?
Quite a significant chunk
The
there,
2.
considering it hits
Yes.
3 times.
So Amaterasu traditionally was kind of this character that you'd expect to lose early game with and then carry into the late game because of her aura effects, and her ultimate was also just a good team fight ultimate. When we made the change to make her laning phase better, it was probably too much given that she now could fight early game and had that late game strength. But we found that overall people overwhelmingly preferred this playstyle. The lose early game just to kind of like carry into the late game is fun for some characters, but for Amaterasu players it didn't seem to be something that was resonating. So we're going to keep that direction. we're going to keep her early game being a little bit better, and we're also going to tone down the top end so that trade-off that used to exist that's a bit diminished is a bit more fair.
So she was so potent in the late game, we took
it's a fair set of changes, I think.
We also know that movement speed, especially late game, that amount of movement speed, those
sure.
changes make a big difference in rotating to fire giants or pushing phoenixes or just chasing down enemy.
Though I do like late game armor.
Yep. Cerberus, next up, the Spirit of Death increased the healing from Stolen Heal from 40% to 50%. Probably brings it in line with a couple of other characters. And Ghastly Breath increased Protection Shred. Was 6 to 14, now will be 5 to 18 from stack.
From stack.
From stack. It does say from stack, right?
I'll go double
So better on rank 2.
I don't know what that means from stack, but
per stack.
From stack. That's
so
what we'll
the big change here is the passive is a very unique selling point for Cerberus. Like people stealing healing from other people. Is just
that's
cool.
12 extra shred.
That feel more potent
Isn't
in
it?
general.
3 stacks.
As well as Ghastly Breath is kind of his he's a very aggressive guardian. He's able to go into an enemy team fight and deal actually quite a bit of damage, and that's his main threat. You can follow up with stun and a team fight.
He's doing poorly stat-wise at the moment, so I see why.
When he first released, he was actually really strong because Ghastly Breath shred a lot more than it currently does. We're meeting in the middle, so we've toned that back. We saw Cerberus kind of fall off.
I think it was 20
at first. Halfway to bring that strength back to him.
Sure, he really has fallen off as well, to be fair. So that shred will help him out, not just for him, but for other people that hit his target. Discordia.
We'll do a lot. It's like a full pen item.
Magic. We're going to increase the base damage of this ability on Discordia. It was 70 to 250. It's now going to be 75 to 275, so we'll increase at all ranks. And Erratic Behavior. We're going to decrease the cooldown from 18 to 16 seconds.
Yep. Just nice buffs for Discordia in general. She was, as a mage, just underperforming, and so we wanted to give her a nudge in both her ability to poke enemies as well as Erratic Behavior, which has a lot of...
I didn't even know that she was doing that poorly.
Okay, after that is Ganesha. And Dharmic Pillars fixed an issue where rank 2 was costing too much mana.
5 mana too much.
Insane. Who found that out?
I got a jeer for it, and I fixed it.
Good job. Good job, first of all, on fixing it.
I don't remember who found it.
It's just one of those things where it's like 5 mana and people know it. That's crazy. Dharmic Pillar now caches aim. It should now be placed where the player was targeting when cast.
Yeah, so it had like a very small window where if you'd place it and then move your camera really quickly, it wouldn't place where you put it, and it would just move a little bit. And a lot of abilities have that, but one having that be so short, as well as one being for a ability that like you really want that placement to be accurate.
Yeah.
It caused some weird confusion, and so we just made it so it catches aim where you place it, no matter how you move your camera.
That should feel nice. That should definitely feel nice.
What's this?
I think most people may have experienced this at one point at least.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
that doesn't matter for us.
How am I supposed to get a Christmas bonus?
That doesn't matter for us.
How are people on social media going to get upset?
Doesn't matter for us.
Isis, nerfs. Spirit Ball, increased cooldown from 10 seconds to 12 seconds. Dispel
finally.
Magic, decreased base shield health from 70 to 230, is now 50 to 230. And Circle Protection, decreased base healing from
rework and nerf,
is now 90 to 190, so early game scaling there as well.
Am I getting a skin and a nerf, and she's getting rework and nerf?
What's the reason for these?
Really, the key theme of the change we did to her mid-season was that we improved her survivability.
And you did.
Yeah, and that drastically allowed her to be a competitive
remodel and
nerf.
nerf, sorry.
Ban rate skyrocket. We've seen her pick rate skyrocket. Her being safer mattered a lot. And so since then, we've toned back that survivability a bit more. This time, we're focusing on not only the early game survivability that we gave her, but also the Spirit Ball cooldown, right? 10 seconds on a very low cooldown while you have that additional survivability to stay alive longer means you're more likely to cast it again for self-peel. And so we were reducing that, or increasing that cooldown to make sure that, like, if you use Spirit Ball to peel for yourself, if you stun, that setup isn't going to happen again for a little bit longer.
Gotcha. Isis nerfed. There you go. Persephone, Harvest, fixed an issue where the flower form of her plant would not hit in the tended cone area. I think a lot of you guys at home would have referenced
yeah. You can duke it properly.
Dodging to the left was more difficult than dodging to the right. We have fixed that.
So now is it dodging to the left is better than dodging to the right?
They should be equal.
No, we should have done it the other way.
No, they should be equal.
No?
It's going to be harder now, though. It was so easy to duke
if
you
knew.
knew.
Balance because this is actually something that's going to heavily affect her balance. We're going to watch her very closely after this, right? Because a lot of people probably don't know that trick, knowing to dodge to the right. We've seen people who know how to do that are very good at dodging Persephone's damage.
It's so easy when you know.
Now that it's working correctly, how that impacts our overall balance, and then make changes accordingly.
Gotcha. Okay, so Persephone, that's the only change there for now.
It's gonna be harder once you learn that trick.
In the jungle, Storm Qatar decreased scaling per hit from 55% to 50%. So overall, that's going from 165% to 150%. So 15% off that first ability. And not only that, Typhoon, the scaling has been reduced reduced on that as well. That was mega high, 140% scaling with the amount of, especially when Arondight's coming in the game. Yeah, okay. Was 140%, now going to be 125% the scaling there.
I thought it's called Arondight.
Yeah, he was, especially like once he got his items online, if he built full offensive, he could drop Typhoon in a Moso fight and do a whole bunch of damage. He could Storm Kata and get a good amount of damage out and then dash away. That damage is going to be a little bit lower now. People have more time to react.
Fair indeed. Sylvanus is next on the list.
This one's cool.
I don't have a problem with that, especially with Heartseeker.
This ability can now be fired over walls. Okay. Updated this ability's target to be more distinct from his basic. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so before, like, especially if you're aiming out, you would swap to that target, or you wouldn't even notice
it looks the same.
It has more vertical elements, so you can see that now, as well as being able to throw this over walls is a big deal, because now you can throw it over a wall and then pull someone because they're rooted. That is...
That is actually, yeah, it's actually pretty neat.
Sometimes, isn't he? I just said nice things about Pod. What am I on today? Nature's Grasp is the other thing. Fixed an issue where the pull direction wouldn't match the direction Sylvanus was facing. So this is going to be a lock situation. Then if you whip, it's going to still go that way.
Actually, for Ra and Naja, they had this issue where if they camera flicked really hard, the beam visuals as well as where you actually like aimed didn't match.
Sure.
And so we've applied that fix to Sylvanus. If you flicked your camera really quickly, you'd be facing this way, and I'd pull you this way, and I would actually hit this person over here. Now it should.
That doesn't happen that often though.
That's good to know.
So it's not like
and then
that major.
On to Thor. Thor's been pretty potent as of late as well. Anvil of Dawn decreased damage from land.
Oh, look at that!
Ultimate was 120.
Oh, look at that! It's almost like I told you guys.
Early game focus there. There was also
look at that!
Impact was listed as dealing more damage than it was actually doing.
Yeah, I was doing like it was listing. It was doing like 350 damage, but it was actually dealing 300 the whole time.
5 mana now this as well. Okay. And then decreased lightning damage as well, by the way, on the initial target. It was 20
Everyone
to
told me that
15
Thor
to
didn't need nerfs.
So initial target's going to take a little less.
Yeah, when we added the ability for him to land and get that extra lightning damage off, it increases, especially level 5. Like if you land on someone at level 5,
I'm happy today.
They're probably going to die with that additional damage.
That is a nice one.
You have more opportunity to actually deal with that as against a Thor player. And hopefully overall this will bring him more into line. We watched him for a really long time. We saw his ban rate rise, but we didn't see his win rate really rise with the mid-season patch as well, so we want to be very careful with how he adjusted. We've now seen it for long enough, people have learned it, and we feel like it's safe to bring that damage down some.
That's there. Good to see Thor back, maybe a bit too
Didn't they kind of mock that at the defense side, saying, oh yeah, Thor's fine?
Balance for this week is going to be...
Wasn't there something there where they're like, oh, that's not an issue?
Just lately, with having his knockup back, that's staying, but we are going to reduce the healing in his power cleave defensive stance. It was 30
I don't think it's going to be enough.
It's now going to be 20 to 120.
I think Tyr needs more than just that.
30 to 130, 20 to 120. So just focus at all levels of the healing sustain there?
Yeah, overall, he was a character that we had to buff the healing on a lot for him to actually stay in lane and do really effectively. But then when we added the knockup, now he has that whole extra tool to help him in lane. He doesn't need that healing as much, so we're bringing it back.
Well, that's all we've got for the balance section.
That was actually good changes.
With that, we'll head back over to Ryan to go through the Odyssey skins.
You can get some low-tier buffs.
And Hindu Man. It's time to go over some of the Odyssey skins segment. This one's going to be a lot of fun because, like I said, the Ruby skins, obviously the headline of this patch, but these skins are also incredible, especially this Apollo one. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Joining me to go over some of the skins, we've got Tina, we've got Hajiki, and we've got Fish.
Polo.
Guys, this might be our best skin patch ever.
It's a really good one.
I don't say that lightly. I mean, because we've been killing it recently. You know, we can pat ourselves on the back a little bit, but this one feels like a whole nother level.
It's a solid lineup all the way through.
Yeah, that's
nice.
it across a lot of different gods as well. You know, that's kind of the big thing. We're gonna kick it off with Living Death Scylla. This one, I know that Halloween is this week. This one looking extra spooky right away.
Okay, that is impressive.
She really, Scylla's already kind of evil, but she's cute and evil. We're scaling back on the cute here and going up on the evil.
Yeah, this is less like trick-or-treating on my porch going for the candy corn and more like straight out of a horror movie.
Right.
Her eyes are really scary. Like if you look in the model, her eyes are freaky. Like they're if you can zoom in, it's
I like the color theme.
Look at that.
Those
a lot.
No.
The ornaments that she has.
Normal
she's
thing.
like definitely dead.
Even just the textures all around, like it's really creepy, but it's got
a bit of a Persephone vibe actually.
The little floating candles.
Persephone's
a little bit of extra spooky.
Acolyte or something.
That is a small dress with a lot of detail.
Yes.
I love the bone, like the skeleton worked into the dress. Like she's not just like summoning them; she's actually wearing them as well. That's really cool.
Got complete mastery over the skeletons for sure. And look, she again small stature. but very,
Okay,
very
yeah,
old,
this is a cool
wise
one.
witch who was eternally cursed with the appearance of a child. Her only interest is in bringing back her loved ones repeatedly for eternity, as life for her is full of boredom and solitude.
Crush
That's
effect
kinda
is
sad.
super
It
cool.
is very sad. It's very boring. My goodness.
I like that the
I love
crush effect
the-
is visually
the
clear
green
as well.
and
It's
purple
easy to
sort
see.
of color palette together.
Absolutely, very
And there-
eerie.
I guess that's a loved one right there, huh? That's
This might be my new
that's the
favorite
one.
Scylla skin.
Oof.
Though I
definitely
still
damage
like the
No,
cock
that's
Scylla a
kind of what
lot.
Scylla do, though. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of her thing.
It's hard
Commanding
to-
the skulls around the map.
The
is
effects are so
definitely
nice
the
though.
game plan.
It's hard to see from this angle, but the faces of the skulls actually, the jaws open sideways as well. It's super creepy.
Oh,
I mean,
that's-
you
I
got
didn't
no
even notice
skin
that
there, right?
detail.
You got plenty of room to get the job done.
The only thing
Those
that's a bit
skulls
weird
from
is
the
her
front,
candles,
so cool.
like, they float and they don't... They should move a little, I think.
Thanks for that.
like,
addition,
stuck
too.
a bit.
Really appreciate that. I do want to
Candles
see
or
if we
whatever
can
that is,
see
like, I don't
the
know,
front
torches.
of her when she's ulting. Pon, if we could get your camera expertise here. Maybe a little camera rove, maybe a little server exec slow-mo 0.1. That's a classic we love around here. That's a move we like. This is cool,
What?
man. When you get to see all the skulls come. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, look at those jaws.
Yeah, that's exactly what you were talking about
Busted
there.
open.
That is awesome. That is not cool.
Oh my
Seeing
god,
that-
those jaws like separate. Look
Yeah,
at that.
right down
like
the
they
middle.
like
Welcome
they
to the
like
party.
separate.
that is awesome, man. That is spooky to see coming down the lane at you for sure. Let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Living Death Scylla.
Oh,
Attack the Titan. Gank middle lane. You are exceptional.
sounds so British. Why?
You've always been the greatest. The smarter the beast, the harder to bring back.
She sounds like the Gilly from Game of Thrones.
You should be. I am over a century old, and it is still hard to find a boyfriend due to this body. And the skeletal appendages.
And the accent.
I'm not pale because I am undead.
Just kidding, guys.
Don't like the sun, okay?
Definitely a different sound for her. Tina,
By the way, the
you
HUD
use
at the
a
top
lot
is
with the
glitched.
voice
I hope that's not a
pack
patch
kind of stuff.
issue.
The note here I have is a much more ageless and
Disconnected.
ancient version of Scylla. I think it turned out pretty well.
Yeah,
Why
so
ancient? Why does she have a
she's,
British
older lady
weird
stuck in a
accent?
kid's body, so she
That doesn't
needs
make
to be able
sense.
to speak. She
I mean,
still
why would she
talks
speak
like
English?
Mature, but
Right.
she has a kid's voice. Yeah.
Definitely.
in the creepy notes.
Yeah, she's not a nice old lady, I'll say that. All right, moving on. It's time for Codebreaker Osiris. This one floored me right away, man. I mean,
Osiris. That
Osiris
looks
has
cool.
some skins, but I feel like he was due for a new one. And this
Looks
one
very
just knocks it out of the
Destiny-ish.
park. I love the kind of space flail that he's got, and
That
not a
works.
sickle this time around, but an axe instead.
Both weapons turned out super well. Like they're very different.
Oh,
from each
yeah, I wanna
other,
see the
and
swings
they're
with the
a little
axe.
Different from what he normally has, and they just were executed very well.
This skin is sweet, man.
I'll use it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
for
the
sure.
materials.
That skin even
Especially,
looks
like,
different
all
from the back.
energy
I like it when they
transforming
make them
through
look
and
different
around.
for the player
Yeah, a
itself.
flail wouldn't hurt enough normally. How about a plasma
Energy
flail?
whip, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's I'm guessing what it's made of.
I
But,
hope that's in the
I'm not exactly a intergalactic
Odyssey.
warrior like our man is right here. This skin super awesome, and the sound effects as well. I think add a little bit to it. You can hear a little bit more metallic almost.
I actually
with,
don't like
with what he's doing.
these digital sound effects that much. Maybe it's just me. Let me know in the comments if you feel the same way, or is it just me?
It's around
Like the electric sound effects on the one stuff like
this.
this
I think it's a very cool combination.
Star Wars sounds. I find them kind of annoying after a while.
Dark blue as he transforms into his passive. Kind of
Oh,
reminds
that
you of
looks
classic
cool.
Osiris already, so you know it's not like you're seeing something whole new. Though that is sweet.
Yeah,
With
this
the
is-
blue and the
this is really
CC
cool.
immunity, it almost turns green
Yeah,
right there.
effects textures are really cool.
So
On that
awesome.
and the tether as well.
That's
I feel
some
like
good
for,
visuals.
For animating Osiris, that ultimate is one of the big spots where you guys get to be a little bit more creative on the animation side.
I mean, yeah, like Osiris'
Yeah, for
abilities
sure.
are
What's
visually
really
not
fun is
crazy
going
most
back
of the
to
time,
these
but I
old
think this
gods
one,
that
this one
haven't
really.
had skins in a while. It's almost
base
like
model just hits the
relearning them
spot.
from the tech side, because there's a lot of little nuances and things that were done in the anim tree from way back in the day that we have to account for in these newer skins.
Looks absolutely amazing. Let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Codebreaker Osiris.
Could have given him a jetpack for the ultimate though.
Defend. Deadliest in the galaxy. It's payday. You're quite the professional.
Bit over the top on the effect here.
psychiatrist tells me I should stop talking to dead people.
I'd probably just play this with default voice lines.
You pick a number, and I'll try to bring you back in that many pieces. Don't mind the corpse. He just had a little accident. Could you read a little less? You're staining the suit.
Yeah, the accident one.
Because he's got an axe.
I was on board, and then I heard that one.
Get it?
And, I'm a little bit less on board all of a sudden now. I don't know.
I really like the ghost, the like pass-through texture on him too.
Yeah, 100% looks great. All right, this is one of my favorite skins of the entire update. Divine Machina Apollo. This is a whole, I mean, we haven't done anything like this before.
It's a new theme, I think.
Yeah, whole new theme. Ancient tech stone, a little bit of magic.
Ancient tech stone.
And it results in him having big laser hands.
Yes, look at those hands.
He got all swole.
And he's another one of these that we haven't touched in a really long time.
Yeah.
He has a lot of
he
interesting things.
He has Ares hands.
We had to do to make him work with this, especially with those giant gauntlets.
Very, very different look.
I like the concept, the ancient tech concept, but he has Ares hands, and I don't recognize the Apollo in him at all.
This theme, though, I'm already excited for what else we got going on here.
Yeah, I want to see this on other gods.
Yeah.
Okay, the animation is very recognizable.
That sounds good to me. Love the little plasma auto attacks. Those are super cool. And that's sweet for Audacity. I'm about this skin, man. I also am a huge Apollo stan, so I'm a little bit biased, but I love Apollo.
Yeah, I like the design of the skin.
Like bigger, bulkier, chunkier, like scary looking dude.
I don't like the design. I like the concept, and I will like it on other gods. I just don't like Apollo because Apollo.
I mean, he doesn't
the one looks really cool though, and this the passive effect is funny.
This skin, which you'll get a better feel for in the ultimate.
Okay, little bit of a preview.
The pitch
right
shift.
There's a Sarah. Gotta show him the moves real quick.
Ooh,
oh wait, wings? Ooh.
Those are sweet, man. He's flying, but on the ground. But you know, that's basically flying. He sends his opponents.
Oh, so he's gonna fly in his ult like that?
Very different sort of.
Is he gonna flap his wings and fly?
In general, and here's the ultimate.
Ready for this?
As you were mentioning.
What?
He takes off, and what's the?
Why doesn't he use his wings?
Of what's carrying him around? It's a giant bird.
You see him fly away in the distance.
Oh yeah, wait, do it again.
We're gonna get that slow-mo treatment.
Oh yeah, of course. We gotta hit him with that.
We'll need some camera rove on this.
Oh, Pon's already on it. Dude, look at this thing coming in.
Okay, that bird's cool.
That is so cool.
A giant eagle, but mecha magic eagle.
Machina eagle.
Yeah, that works for me.
Sure.
I can get on board with that one.
Dude, picks
Pretty
him
sure
up.
I fought that boss in Mega Man. So.
Yeah,
get on, loser.
And I love that instead of like riding on top of the eagle or something like that, this kind of
a grappling hook.
Yeah, the grapple hook, but like magical.
Yeah.
In a way, that is so cool. And I mean,
yeah, I like
this one much more similar
like,
to that secret agent.
I don't like Apollo, and I wouldn't use this skin because I'm not using Apollo, but
the bird keeps flying. Oh,
I like the concept.
Yeah, you can see the bird. He keeps flying.
And down for the theme, this is like it's kind of in the same direction as the like Illuminator, Sunday and stuff.
He's going down,
the Samukong scene and stuff.
Blasting on his way down. It just makes it work. This is
it Samukong?
The giant shadow as well, I feel like.
But yeah, that one.
Yeah,
and I like the options a lot, so I like this one a lot.
The original concept for this, I made that bird like about a quarter the size of the map. I guess that was too big.
Too big, just the whole map.
I think they'll know if you use your ultimate.
Yeah, exactly. There's no, the whole team just starts spamming enemy ultimate down.
It needs to block out the sun, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it still turned out really well.
It really did. Let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Divine Machina Apollo.
Attack the Titan! Attack! Defend! You are a treasure! My ancestors would be proud. Marvelous! Aha! Yes! You are a treasure! The weapons you wield seem lacking.
That is cool.
The past has abandoned you. Without it, you have no future.
The animation is cool.
I left home to explore the endless beyond, to see what the world could be.
I really like that voice pack, actually.
After meeting you, well, let's just say ignorance was bliss. My armor is not complicated. You see, the Trocra tech connects to the Aux la Core, which fluxes the mana coils and... What do you mean, what is a Aux la Core?
I mean, he's got a whole new set of
I can't
animations,
place the dialect like where
that's
it's from.
kind of stuff, but that taunt animation.
The gloves fist bumping themselves?
Yeah, I mean, when you're that sweet, you get to do it yourself. You know what I mean? No one else is worthy.
Nailed it.
Ton of love put into this guy from the whole team.
Ooh, what? That looks cool
Turned out
too.
phenomenally. All right, Pink Lotus Pele is next up
What?
on the list. An incredible card art, man. This one I was
looks like
excited for just from seeing the card art alone.
A ninja and World of Warcraft crossover.
A spooky skin
like
that you can play if you want to be a little bit more
girly ninja.
And then
Overwatch.
the kind of techie skin.
Overwatch. An Overwatch blood elf.
Yes.
And I think it fits her really, really well.
Oh, they botched the face a bit though.
Very vibrant.
Pink
That
and
pink
green.
bubblegum hair. Hell yeah.
But I think this skin is gonna work really well with like pink animations.
I think someone said that in the meeting yesterday that we were talking about it. It looks phenomenal.
With a shoulder guard.
Kind of a Pantheon switch almost for Pele here, right?
And it's finding something different for Pele. The other ones were very like similar concept. Oh, it's green though.
Also, her weapons a little bit different. Normally just daggers. Now they're full on.
I like
glaives.
these glaives.
Yeah, really, really big.
They're gonna be
ones.
really fun
And
with
they're
like
so
full attack
vibrantly
speed.
Green while everything else is so pink. It fits really, really well.
Oh, there's a pink. Oh yes, the flowers. I knew it. I knew it was gonna be pink flowers. It works so well though.
Good. A little bit of a different sound here on the two. I think it sounds really, really
Okay.
sweet. As you've got that eruption.
I'm gonna
going
miss
off.
Pele's original
Then, of
hair
course,
in
you
this
gotta
because I
get
think
your
her original
magma
hair is
rush
so
going
cool with the
on.
effects and everything. But
For me, for Pele skins, I know it'll be hard for you guys to hear here, but try it out on PTS so you can get accustomed to it. The sound of Magma Rush, when it's like bass sound and then amped sound, is really important. And this one, immediately one of the best, I think. Definitely.
the old has to be pink though.
And the ultimate, of course, volcanic lightning.
The pink really comes out in the effects too, which is awesome.
Let's see.
It looks like she gets that.
It's
her
both, it's
blades
green and
turn from
pink.
Green to pink. When it's enhanced by that volcanic lightning. This skin's awesome, man. I'm so excited for this one.
I dig it. I just wish they would have like
That is really great.
implemented
Let's
the
take a voice pack here.
burning hair a little bit somehow. Oh,
Oh, Pawn, unlucky.
I think the normal hair is
Versus.
still a bit better
quiet.
in general.
What do you? Don't quiet me, man. I'm allowed to say unlucky. What's that about? Well, we can move on. Maybe we'll do a little social media release.
VVGN, Pawn, VVGN.
Yeah, that is too bad.
It's okay, Pompon.
You rock. Cancel that.
Yes,
My
that's
favorite.
so Ganesh.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you guys might recognize this skin. This was
They were not lying
huge
about the
concept
skins
for
being good
Tier
this patch.
5 skin last year, where it lost in the vote to Ares, but it was just too good, man. We could not be skipping out on this idea. We know the community loved it a lot, and so we decided to hop right in and do Mouse Force Ganesha.
Yeah, as someone who voted for this, like I'm super psyched to see it in game finally.
Yes.
It's so sweet, man.
So cute.
Every part of this is so cool. Like the detail at the end of the trunk is good. Those arms are
That's
just
good. The
awesome.
weapons
Yeah,
are
the
actually really
pilot
cool
is
as well.
Super cool.
And then you'll be hearing from the pilot quite a bit. That is who the voice pack will be. All the voices and the noises you hear.
He's a little rascal.
Sure, I mean, he can't be driving around an elephant mech suit without being a rascal, right?
Yeah.
The super techie looking blades on his fist. Like just everything about this is so good.
It's so awesome.
And he has really cute animations too.
A whole bunch of new animations
Yes,
in general. He's
so
got
cute.
New emotes, a new recall, a new death, and a new ulti deployable.
Look at him. He's saying bye.
Just
Goodbye.
waves. See you later. That's the new back animation right there. This skin blew me away yesterday, man. I was so excited to get a chance to see it
Our team absolutely killed it.
every time, man. I love the little flower kind of harkening back to base Ganesh and his lore right there. But of course, it's got to be projected onto the bottom. This animation might be my favorite. The beat 'em up and throw 'em up
So good.
from clear the obstacles. That is awesome. Here's a new ulti
Oh.
deployable.
Oh,
Very,
nice.
very different. Normally these pillars kind of build up and then collapse down and break apart.
That's
This time they just
that's
go,
like a bonus
screw up,
distraction
and then screw
effect
right
with
back
the
down.
It's like a
flickering.
Yeah, it's a fight ring.
He's gonna fight you on top of that.
Oh,
especially if you do
that actually makes me
full Ganesh
uncomfortable.
combo.
Maybe it's because I didn't
right
sleep that
there.
much.
And not a lot of pacifism happening on this skin.
Yeah, well, that's kind of his thing, but that was for regular Ganesh.
Yeah.
Once you get into the elephant mech suit,
Little rascal
Yeah.
mouse pilot. He can
Right.
he can be a little bit more.
things change quite a bit. In fact, we get to see a little bit more of that mouse pilot during the emotes, Pawn, if you want to
Yeah.
take a look at those real quick. Maybe a little taunt.
No.
Okay.
Say hello to my big friend.
Aww. That's cool.
gotta pop out and do a little bit of trash talk himself.
Just hold him up like a award, like a trophy.
Slap you better.
That's the laugh right there. That is awesome. He is so cute, man. But also so diabolical at the exact same time.
Yes. He's a rascal.
Mischievous here. Driving around the elephant neck.
Oh, that really gives me a headache.
Pack for Mouse Force Ganesh.
I hope they change that, honestly.
Defend. Dang, you're good. Easy. I'm a baller. Say hello to my big friend. You put a dent in Big G, and you'll regret you ever existed. You know what game you don't want to play with us? Squash.
I know I laughed. I broke the rule, guys. I laughed. I do want to see the death animation if we get a chance. I know, Pon, it's hard for you to die in here, but
run, pal.
Yeah. That is so cool.
The ejection.
He injects himself.
He's gotta get out of there right away.
You're gonna be all right.
Face plants.
He's trying his best out there. I love it, man. Mouse Force Ganesh, definitely a highlighter of this patch in general. Of course, we've got a lot more things in the update show that is not the conclusion of the skin segment by any means. We're going to be coming back in just a little bit to talk about the Ruby Battle Pass and all the amazing skins there. We also want to let you guys know that we've got something coming back that you guys might be excited about. Classic Domination returning in this update. Fishman, I know you did a lot of work.
I wish I could be able to play that.
We made some gameplay changes as well.
That's right. That's right. So we brought the speed boost at a base from Conquest and other modes into Domination, so you can get to the fight a little faster. We also carved out some of the geometry so that it's a little easier to go from especially the left-hand point to the right-hand point. But for the most part, it's still old classic SMITE Domination. So
Domination that you know and love for sure. We'll be coming back very, very soon. So make sure you guys get ready for that. I'm sure you're all going to be very excited. We got more coming in the update show, of course. We still got to get to some community news in just a minute. We've got Hindu Man and Isaiah. I believe they're standing by right now.
Oh, I mean, we're sitting, but it's the same sort of thing, I guess. Welcome back to the community news section, joined, as always, by the one and only Isaiah. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you, Hindu Man?
I'm good. I'm good. What have you got for me this week? Because this is a section where I'm like, I don't know what we're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's spooky season. So right now, the reaping is going on in Smite. Yeah. It's been going on for the past week. We had a gem storm over the last weekend, and right now you can get double battle points on every game played, and we're doing 3 first wins of the day. If you get those, you get a free chest.
Oh, and you can get that Ymir skin as well.
It's actually pretty quick with the double battle points right now.
That's the community stuff for that in regards to the community art, the reaping, and obviously that. Yeah. Esports news. Placements are happening next week for the World Championship qualifiers. We'll be taking 2 teams from the remaining teams that haven't qualified yet, which is the bottom 4 from the SPL, the best 2 from the minor league from each region of EU and NA, and of course the console teams too, their representatives, and they're all going to take part in one hell of a long week. 6 days of action starting this Sunday coming. We'll get to see the best of the best take it on, and it's a double elimination as well, so there's a good chance you might get to see some of the greatest matches ever. And make sure you actually check that out. And of course, straight after that, we do have the World Championships following that, and you guys should be looking to get yourself some tickets at highresexpo.com. You can head over to highresexpo.com, get your tickets, and come see Isaiah and me. Are you going?
Yeah,
you better be.
I'm definitely going to be there. Yeah,
no.
You definitely want to get your tickets and also get that High Res Expo bundle added onto your ticket. That way you get some extra swag, get that after party ticket, because you don't want to miss that after party. It's going to be awesome.
And that's with the esports news for now. But now we can move on to a couple of wintry skins. Christmas is already coming. I know.
Well, it depends. The after party, if it's in the old place, it might not be that great.
So we're going to start things off with a look at Frostbite Cerberus is going to be in the game. Ooh, a shimmerer there.
Oh, yeah. This one turned out really cool.
Has he got 3 different heads?
Yeah, this is actually the first Cerberus skin where each head is a different type of animal.
That's really cool. That's cool. Should be able to have a little look at that in-game as well with these 3 different heads. Frosty and focused on...
Oh, definitely Frosty. So icy.
He needs a Santa hat as well. That's what he's missing. Maybe just one of them should have a Santa hat, one should have a Scrooge hat or something. I don't know.
Maybe just to kind of tie in the holidays. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, I like the ice effect.
It is in game.
Oh, the icy blues and the whites. I just love that color combination.
Goes really well together, and we'll be able to see a little bit more of him. I love the tail as well, the animation of those icicles.
Right, it's not your usual snake, but we've got some awesome icicles back
That's
here.
a good point. I didn't even think about the snake being missing, but you know, when you've got 3 different heads, you can have an icicle tail that's going to deal a lot of damage instead. That
Interesting.
Makes sense. Should be able to have a quick look through the abilities as well, and just see how these all look.
Yeah, the effects. Oh, I was hoping that would be so frosty. Oh, that looks so amazing.
Oh, the tornado of ice in the middle. I like that. Would it be a tornado? It would be a blizzard.
Yeah, blizzard.
There you go. That's my knowledge of the wintry seasons. Not so much.
The leap there. Oh, got the ice shards popping up.
Makes sense. I love the frostbite effect on them as well for a second there, just to show they're still doing it too. Ah, the ultimate.
Nice. Looks awesome. The ice theme just ties everything together as we're getting towards the holiday season.
They all jumped in too. Does this come with a voice pack as well?
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does. Let's have a listen.
Attack! Defend! You are my savior. I am your guardian. Now that is cool.
That's a good voice pack.
What?
3 different animals, remember?
Which of my heads would you prefer to be devoured by? 3 beasts are better than 1. You'd think a bird, bear, and cat would never get along. But just look at me.
I think it's a good place to end on. Just look at me and the laugh as well. That's it for the Cerberus skin. That will be available in that this patch as well. And then not only that, we've got the Sugar and Slice Darji.
Yeah,
well,
so this is definitely, we had a lot of feedback last year. You know, we've got the winter skins, and we've got the side, the the cold and icy, but people want the Christmas themes back. So this is a super exciting concept that actually, I got to give a shout out to the Olympians. When the Olympians were here at the summit in July, they helped the art team brainstorm this concept.
So we can blame them if people don't like it?
I mean, who's not going to like this, though?
That's true. She does have reindeer antlers and ears on top of that as well.
Exactly.
It's not just the antlers, is it? It's the ears as well that really add to this one.
Ties it in. So that kind of just gives everybody just a kind of idea of how long.
Just give me an ultimate with a Christmas tree. That's all I want.
The Olympians were here and brainstorming the concept back in July, and it's not going to come out till November.
Well, I'm
Lots
definitely
of work
interested
goes
in these animations.
I feel like she's going to have a sugar cane, though.
This one as well.
Oh, definitely.
She's definitely got the snowy foxtails this time round as well. And there's a look at the icy.
Oh, double icy.
Down the one.
Oh, that's cool. The storm.
That's called 1,000 cuts.
Yep.
It's technically full, but it adds a lot more than full.
Well, you've got the dot damage too, right?
See, look at you.
If anything, it's 6 cuts because
sometimes people don't
both
think
claws.
you know.
If you want to be nitpicky, then do it right.
Ultimate is the best part.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Why?
Give me a Christmas tree. Oh my god, they did it.
So good.
And he's spinning
Oh my
too.
god, yes. Yes.
I want to spin the opposite way around.
An American Christmas tree.
I don't know why, just to be like a weird fairy.
A plastic Christmas tree that's spinning around.
I love the snowflake at the top too.
So Christmas is really
Oh my god, yes.
because once again, these 2 skins will be available in this update.
That one's
in
great.
a couple weeks' time. What else you got for me?
That's it.
Is that it?
Well, no, this skin has a voice pack if you guys want to listen to the voice pack.
There you go. You saved the day.
What? Did you see that
Let's have a
right?
listen.
Defend! You are wonderful. I'm the best elf. Oh, woohoo!
Elf? How's she
You
elf?
are wonderful. Hey, lay off those presents. They ain't yours. Oh, I'm great at wrapping gifts. They don't call me Santa Claus for no reason.
Oh man.
The good old laughs. Well, that's it for me and
Nice.
Isaiah. It's time to get
I like
back over to Aggro to show you more of the ISIS remodel. And not only that, that whole Ruby Battle Pass thing too. Let's get it over to Ryan.
Thank you very much, guys. Great claws joke there for sure. Really good one. It was definitely not Tina because she's definitely not the only one laughing over right behind the camera right now. You guys have been asking for an ISIS visual rework for a very long time. We're very happy to bring it to you, especially one of this quality. And to join me to talk about it, we've got AJ and Viv from the concept art team, of course. Guys, I don't know. Did you hear that people wanted an ISIS visual rework? Did you hear anything about that?
She looks as tight as I am.
For the last year and a half of my life.
So it's finally over.
There was someone on Twitter committed to replying remodel ISIS to every single post, regardless if it was skin, balance, technical updates, whatever.
You tweeting a picture of your cats. Just immediately.
So guys, just tweet on every single tweet and you'll get a rework. There you go.
Here we go.
That's how you do
did it. It took us a little while. We had to do some scheduling, some planning. A God update is a really big endeavor. The community does perceive it to be a little easier than it is. It's not easy. It's a lot of work. It takes the whole art team to come together. It takes a lot of time and effort. We have to make sure we can make the goddess feel like a good improvement while still keeping all of the true important features of the original, making sure the lore is happy, the community is happy. There's a lot of things to consider. We went through a lot of iterations, but Vivian here, who's joining me, who did the actual literal design of the new visuals for ISIS, the detail work, the way her face and her armor and her accessories look. This was Vivian, and we did it, and she just did a great job. We're super stoked about it.
Yeah, let's take a look at the card art real quick, and Vivian, I'd love for you to go over and just point out some of the things that you wanted to make sure that were hit with.
It looks so good though.
For this remodel, there's a lot of things we really want to hit. For one, we want to maintain the silhouette of her default. So like when you're playing this remodel, you still know that this is ISIS, and it will still remind you of the old one, but not looking like the old one. And also like another important thing we really want to hit is that she needs to look proportional like a human being at this point.
Hello, what's going on?
Sure, model needed that much work.
Yeah, it has some wonky proportions, but yeah, that's one of them. And also making her look like, nowadays, she would maybe be like an Instagram star from Egypt or somebody who you would recognize from that part of the world, which the old one did not quite reflect that very well.
Sure.
So, and also
okay, follow my Instagram. This is the moment to plug it.
Which were like amazing.
Instagram/DukeSloth TV.
For her being the mother of Horus, if they were in a family portrait, she needs to look like she fits into the family. And she's
all right, card art does not quite match the in-game model, but close enough for me.
Yeah.
So that's why like she is so blinged out
Head
with all these intricate
thing is a bit different, skin color is a bit different,
clothing and stuff like that.
But it still looks good to me.
The main things that we try to hit.
Truly looks like a queen of a pantheon now.
Yeah, so much more vibrant. That's the first thing that I noticed. I mean, old ISIS, similar silhouette as you mentioned, but when you got
I think some people are going to be unhappy about that hair.
It was much less vibrant and didn't have that same air of importance almost. Yeah. She looks phenomenal. In game, it looks even better than I thought it might. It looks so good.
I mean, I think we did a great job maintaining the silhouette. We had to keep in mind a lot of tech issues with her, the way her original goddess model and overall silhouette was designed. High risks.
Her stance is different now, is it?
Body parts to deform during animation. Her wings were very clunkily designed, I suppose you could say. So, the art team and Vivian.
I'm definitely down for this remodel.
They made some very intentional choices to make these wings more decorative.
It looks better from the back than it does from the front, but
her
still has
accessories as a queen and not like literal bird lady.
Yeah, that's what the first thing that I noticed is that you can tell where the wings are additive and not necessarily there all the time.
And that just gives us a lot better control over how to use them in her animations. And as we expand on the character in future skins or different ways.
Oh look, she kept the high heels.
A lot more flexibility and lets the character look great.
Wait, did she even have high heels before?
What she's doing. So, you know, when we do a full remodel like this, that also includes a huge amount of rigging work and animation work. All of these animations have to be redone from scratch, essentially. Now, they're done in a way that intentionally mirrors the way she's always looked, because we don't want to completely change up everything, but they're all redone.
Sure.
It takes quite a bit of effort, and
I think they should have toned down the coloring of her abilities.
I really agree that
because it would match the new wings better.
For us. We really appreciate the community being vocal
but again,
about
it's
how
light
important this is for them.
Beams, I guess. So
we appreciate the positive feedback we've already had. Keep that coming, you know. We want to see this character get played more, even though there were some nerfs, but those were necessary. We want to see the character get played more. We want to see people talking about it, people excited about it. That's going to show and prove that it's worth doing this in the future.
Sure.
We need that community feedback, really, to keep doing this type of thing, because it is really time-consuming for the team.
And it really did turn out so well, though. I mean, obviously a ton of work, as you highlighted, but The animation's so similar, but you can definitely
I
tell
really
some
like
slight
how she looks during her one
She
now.
looks like she just moves much more elegantly. And maybe that's just with the model being different at all, but
most likely that's what that is. Yeah. So the more actual human proportions, as Viv said. You know, people joking just about how terrible her face or her feet looked in the old one. Like all those things have been cleaned up. Her details are beautifully designed here by Vivian. Some details just about the overall structure of what a visual rework means.
Sure.
Generally what we do is we update the base skin, we update the recolors and the masteries.
Right.
We generally try to preserve the other skins that people purchased because we don't
Look how wild the hair is there in the remodel,
that people
in the
recolor
recolor.
to look a certain way.
And then in game it's just like a
these like
flat
free
thing.
skins and things that clearly inherit her base model. We changed those.
But everything else is good. So
this is, you can see the new recolor card art. We have new recolor card art and model for the recolor masteries. That's the golden legendary diamond, and a little bonus in there, the shadow skin.
Yeah, that's
obtainable via the clan system.
I want to see that now.
That is also going to be on the new model.
I want to see that now.
That's exciting. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, the card art, I believe, will be over the new card art.
Interesting.
Although I haven't actually seen that myself.
Normally, it's just the base card art with
the filter.
Filter.
So I believe that is what it is. The shadow actually looks really cool.
I bet.
On this new model. I really like it.
This one I'm all about.
Yeah, I love the color scheme on this
Green's
too.
my favorite color, so this is speaking.
Viv, did we do more
This
of a
definitely
color
works.
reinterpretation for this one, or did you try to heavily draw from the current recolor?
Actually, this is actually supposed to be a little bit callback to the current recolor.
Okay.
Just I feel like just because we remodeled God, maybe the recolor should also keep the old one. Because then, like, I feel like people perhaps like that one.
Yeah.
And in the future, we can explore other colors, but I think for remodels, we should.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's good.
This
that they do it that way.
The mastery skin card. This is incredible. This is the first time I've seen this. That is awesome.
Nice. Yes.
The pose is that's powerful. You know, you can tell that she's a
goddess of magic.
Yeah, a queen of a pantheon for sure.
And of course, you know, there's one other big question. This comes up oftentimes in visual reworks, and I very strongly pushed for this to be part of the plan from the very beginning to make sure everyone is happy with this. Classic Isis will still be available as a skin in the game. It'll now be a skin, not the base god, because the base god will just be what we've been seeing here.
Right.
So everybody will have new Isis as
If you play that, what's wrong with you?
Anyone who still is attached and really likes the kind of quirky, interesting character that used to be Isis, I'm avoiding
Very
any words,
nicely
yes,
done.
of course.
Yeah.
Anyone who still wants that will be able to obtain that.
Okay.
It'll be for 200 gems or 9,500 favor. So favor skin.
So basically,
classic
recolor
Isis.
price, I believe, is
Yeah,
what
that's
that
it.
is.
Classic Isis or mastery.
Can we just talk about how
Mastery
good
skin,
the
that's what I
golden looks
Classic
though?
Isis.
The legendary is
totally,
now.
So, you know, some of the things that's come up in past remodels, some people still prefer the old one.
Sure.
You're still going to be able to play that classic Isis experience in that skin, classic Isis.
Great
Win,
plan.
Win for everyone.
No losers. None here, at least.
At least we tried really hard to make sure every single time, even though you would
I was
not
trying to see that
expect
shadow
many
skin.
people to still want classic Isis. We know they're out there.
Yeah.
We care about you, so you can still obtain that piece of history.
Seriously, what is wrong with you if you want classic?
Classic Isis.
Out of all gods,
Retro Hercules. is.
why?
I don't know. I like running
numbers.
classic Hades actually.
Classic Hades is a good
Give me
one.
shadow.
Yeah,
Give me
that's cool.
shadow.
But I don't know. I'll run the data on it next month. Maybe we can talk about it on the Inside Show if you want.
Sure.
I
I'm
assume
interested.
it would be low. Oh, there's the
Ooh.
shadow.
There's the
New
shadow one.
Yeah.
That looks so good.
Yeah.
Her shadow skin has always been my favorite one, I think, because the dark wings with the orange tip is.
I
really
like it, but I
nice
actually
on
like the
the
other ones
wing,
better.
And it
Pops.
certainly got preserved here.
I think
auto
the
attacks look
design
great,
just matches
those dark purple ones. Yeah.
The new skin better than
Isis
that.
remodel
The
looks
shadow
phenomenal.
one.
Again, if you decide you prefer the classic Isis look, still an option available to you for the same price as those mastery skins, 200 gems or 95.
I understand why they did it, of course, but
So hopefully you guys.
I don't understand why anyone would use it.
Just play a little bit. You'll
Unless
get
you're a
enough
new
favor.
free-to-play player. Yeah.
Sure. You'll still get your favorite pretty quickly anyways. Make sure you guys stay tuned, though. We've got to go over the new Ruby Battle Pass skins. If you're a little bit unfamiliar with what Ruby is, well, here you go. Ruby Season 7 coming up very, very soon, but you don't have to wait for more Ruby content right here on the show because it's time for us to go over the Battle Pass. To do it, we've got Tina, we've got Alyssa from Alacrity 2D department, and of course DJ coming out of the UI department. But guys, my understanding is you're all just big RWBY fans, and this is your time to shine, right? Just excited that RWBY and SMITE collaboration is finally here.
Yes. I actually started watching RWBY about a year ago. Oh shit. You okay?
So we're good.
Oh.
Ooh. We're doing okay. Blake had a little bit of a spill. Keep going, Tina. You were saying you started watching RWBY a little bit ago.
Yes. I totally forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry.
You just started watching RWBY about a year ago.
Oh
said.
yes. Yeah, I just binged it. Like, I know the first episodes are shorter and then it gets longer, but I just binged it in like what, a week? It was a week. DJ?
It didn't take very long.
I kept like updating.
Is Tina okay?
And DJ.
She looks
and I kept pumping her up.
Really tired.
Was gonna happen. Battle pass together for like just the filler items.
Everyone looks so tired on the show today.
Feedback. We were also working really closely with Rooster Teeth. Like every step of the way, Rooster Teeth was giving us feedback, and we were asking them for just to make sure that everything was as perfect as we can make it for them.
Yeah, I mean, Rooster Teeth, obviously huge fans of SMITE. We're huge fans of Rooster Teeth.
Yes.
How did this collaboration kind of happen? What
and who chose the gods?
Like, yo, maybe a little RWBY characters in SMITE, and they were like, yo, that sounds dope. Like, was that the game plan right there? How did that kind of come to pass? Cool. Yeah. Sounds like I nailed it, and Tina doesn't need to expand whatsoever. So that works for me. Now, again, these are not individual characters. These are skins for a lot of our favorite gods. But they all have all new in-game and lobby facial animations. A whole bunch of work kind of went into making sure that these are as close to the RWBY characters as possible. The original voice actors and actresses are right there working alongside them. So we think you guys are going to love it. We're going to kick it off with RWBY herself. Ruby Rose Thanatos is going to be our first one. This, I mean...
So this...
go ahead.
Okay. This is her season 7 attire. So for all the girls, Rooster Teeth said that it would be cool if we could do like for the 4 skins that we have here, that they wear the clothes that they wear in season 7, the newest season.
So she floats.
So you get like a little sneak peek of what it's gonna look like and stuff.
Yeah.
Once we on the screen.
They were in the trailer though now, right?
They are on the trailer. Yes. Yes.
So.
But that's you're getting the most updated version.
And she has a constant floating sound.
It was fun. I got to see these in a meeting we had with the SMITE team.
And she has no wings.
Sometimes do, like,
so recognizability is... And it's very loud.
They brought us into a meeting, and my jaw just dropped. They're like, we have this thing we want to show you guys. And they just pulled out all the new RWBY concept art. This happened like early in the spring, and I was like, I need to be on this project.
You're not having.
She doesn't have wings.
Getting involved. Yeah,
guys.
It looks amazing. The roses effect there for RWBY whenever she's auto attacking. The trail I think looks phenomenal for her as well.
Yeah, they added it all to help bring out her semblance a little bit from the show. And I think it did a really good job.
The scythe, I believe, has some good...
I said what I need to say about these skins before, so...
Well, whenever she throws that around.
I did not get positively surprised or impressed or, no.
I mean, this is the natural fit for Thanatos, for RWBY, right? Scythe, Thanatos uses the scythe.
Natural fit, yeah, Thanatos scythe. Yeah.
The 2,
yeah,
I think,
natural fit.
Nice little... It's subtle, but you get a couple extra roses flying around, kind of tie in with that. The ultimate.
Remember those people that try to tell me that it's actually gonna look anything like her?
Obviously a Thanatos classic.
Bruh, it looks like Thanatos cosplaying RWBY.
The RWBY voice actress.
This is not even
voicing the whole way. That over the head sort of scythe stab, I think is really
guys.
Really
awesome. A little fun.
You said you're doing full re-rigging. What happened?
So it was kind of fun working with the
Also, where's the ultimate sound? I'd like to hear the normal warning when Thanatos ults, please. Not just...
While making it have that slight current that Thanatos' scythe has.
Perfect. Well, it turned out really, really well.
No.
And fits what Thanatos
I'm sorry for how well the other skins turned out this patch.
The passive looks like.
We really can't say this turned out well.
Pon did have to go and do some other things, so it's Extreme Man back there doing extreme stuff. He might try his best, but that's all we got. All right, we'll find it out in PTS and that kind of stuff. You guys will be able to play test it there. Now, each of these RWBY characters does have a VXG,
yes,
so we can take a look at that real quick for what Ruby.
See, that's the kind of movement that you want to see from her. That's the kind of style, you know.
Walk around, spinning your
spinning your weapon really fast.
That is really, really cool.
It is really cool. Sure.
Love it. All right, let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Ruby Rose Thanatos.
I don't even watch the show, man.
Oh yeah! Awesome! Attack! Attack! Defend!
I feel like the scythe is not even supposed to have that shape ever, by the way, because it's also a gun.
Can we listen to?
And it's too bent to fire a projectile from it like this.
Look at me. My name's Weiss. I know facts. I'm rich. You're about to see a whole different side of me today. Have you come to feel the wrath of my silver eyes? I don't want to be the bee's knees. I don't want to be any kind of knees. I just want to be a normal girl with normal knees.
I love that line. That's like one of my
That's really
favorite
good.
lines. Yeah.
And Tina, you obviously do a lot of work with these voice packs, but the people at Rooster Teeth also helped in writing these. Is that correct?
So I wrote all the voice. I
Okay.
wrote the whole voice pack, and then when I went to Austin, when I went to Rooster Teeth, we sat in a room with all the voice actors and Miles, who's the writer for Ruby, one of them, and he actually. For Ruby, the lines were pretty good, but then we went to the other ones. Like, it was really hard because Weiss, who's Freya, she doesn't know how to joke well. So it was very difficult for me to write jokes for Freya. I mean, for Weiss, sorry. So when we were there, we actually wrote them like there.
Let's make non-jokes.
I was with Miles when we were
That's
writing
awesome.
them because it's like she can't. She's just so serious, you know. So it's really difficult for Weiss. So she can't even pun.
I mean,
Sure.
we did that
She
with
is
Tyr
not
as well.
Terra.
So.
She's not Yang.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
Well, let's see what Weiss can bring though, because we do have her next up on the list.
Yes.
Weiss, Freya. This one required a whole bunch of extra work because Weiss, from my understanding, wants to be proper all the time, and we wanted to make sure that we match that as closely as possible in game, which required some changes to be made to the model and the way that, even down to the way that she walks.
Yes. All of it was because, you know.
Her model
Freya
looks way better than
runs
Ruby's, by the
like
way,
a
just from the
Neanderthal.
base
So
design
we
here.
had to
I don't know why.
make updates to how prim and proper Weiss Schnee it really is.
Sure.
So, yeah, you can see by the stand.
But it's actually so weird to hear the full name Weiss Schnee because it's just German for Snow
I
White.
think she came out
And
really close
reversed.
to how she looks in the show.
Okay.
Yeah, the animation team
It's just white snow.
wander over to their desks every once in a while they're working on
But
it.
grammatically
just to peek
incorrect.
over. They were just so excited to show the vast differences from Freya. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's way
They
different.
did a really good job.
I mean, that swing animation is very different. And
Yes.
remember, this is going to be classic Freya, so it may look a little bit different to what you're used to right now, but this is different.
I like
even
that so
from
far. I think
classic
that's.
Freya's.
I think they really did a better job
style
on
right there. Feels a lot
Weiss than they did
more
on Ruby.
Weiss-like, so to speak. There's the old irradiate again. As classic Freya comes back, we get a little bit there.
Wait, I thought she's supposed to throw like dust.
Runes, right? That's her big thing. Is it
Oh, she's
Blitz,
throwing the rune. Oh, okay. No, that's fair.
something like that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I can see that. That's why I thought Amaterasu, but they
Vanish, I
implemented the rune in a
believe,
good way.
This got some changes later on. I remember
That's
hearing someone
that's
say about
all right.
making sure that the glyphs on
It's
the
not
ground
quite how
were
she used the
close
glyphs,
to-
I think, but
The black
close
glyphs,
enough
like,
with a banish here.
glyphs make things levitate.
Yeah, no,
So wanna be
okay,
as
yeah.
accurate as
This one,
possible right there. The
I
ultimate,
think this one was the
really, really
best
cool.
fit of them, anyways.
The kind of animation
They actually did
that you get right there.
in an
She
interesting way.
fires off.
It's
her Valkyrie's
probably not
expression
100%
shots.
lore accurate here, but
That is sweet.
It's
and the little glyph underneath her.
It's fitting.
Again,
Some of the
letting
animations
her
seem a bit
float
wonky, but
that lets her go up and do that. As I mentioned,
Yeah,
all
this
the,
one's
all
good.
the characters on the
I genuinely
Battle
think
Pass
that
do
this
have
one
VXGs, and Weiss
could have been a lot
might
worse.
be
At least.
my favorite.
Put it like that.
My favorite one.
It's got a lot of personality to it.
So cute. And she turns around, looks at you.
That's cool. I like it when the animations actually turn the character around so you can see the character model yourself as well.
Again, you can move all around the map with your VXG right here. Let's take a listen to the voice pack for Weiss Freya.
That was wonderful. Go team. You want a joke? Well, I already see 5 on the field.
That's a good joke.
You're so childish. What's wrong? Too cold for you?
Ooh, that's
That
cool.
was wonderful. That was wonderful. Attack!
Defend.
All right, next up.
Is Weiss gonna be the first skin, or why is there so much work going into Weiss in comparison?
Belladonna, of course.
Like, I thought Ruby was the
This
headliner.
one, all about the clones, and I know people were excited, thinking, okay, Ama's really cool, and Blake, we obviously love her, so how are they going to incorporate the clones? And I think that
they did a really good job.
It's
maybe they realized that actually. Oh, loading. Well, maybe they realized that Ruby isn't that great of a fit after all, and they were like, okay, we just focus on the other one.
Again, I haven't gotten a chance to watch a whole lot of Ruby quite yet, but it just feels like this fits pretty well.
Okay, I have no clue what the mirror/shield is.
We've gone for them for basically across the board.
Yeah, I think so too.
Somebody who watched the show might know.
One team, you know, like to have all different classes so you can play them all on one team. I think that's really.
So the clone's gonna be in Dash.
Get the whole squad. Maybe queue up a little bit of Siege. You know, have a nice balanced composition there for you. Of course, that is Blake's symbol, I believe, right under that's being shown on the Divine Presence. Or,
oh jeez, how are you gonna?
The color swap there between power and speed is really cool. Just pretty simple and white and black. And
I think that's so hard that to recognize all the different. Well, I guess you kind of recognize them when she's moved fast, but the different auras from Amaterasu to learn them all per skin. Okay, they did not do what I thought they would do with it.
Once we get into the dash is where you'll start to see
at all.
Start to come into play. See those trail behind Blake as she dashes.
So these are the clones?
Fortunately, that's gonna be. I mean, we could try.
Yeah, it's gonna
Extreme
be a tough
man.
one.
I was gonna say if you think you can pull it off, man, this is gonna be a difficult task.
Woo!
But the slow-mo.
Pons got it, dude. Pons.
Oh yeah, there they are.
Pons like.
Oh, there they are.
Excellent, dude.
That's
thing is, she dashes anyway. She didn't even need the clones for that part. So.
That's not the only place you see the clones.
It is not. That's a nice little teaser, a little cliffhanger.
So the old's gonna have the clones?
In the business, Tina. You don't even need me here.
Wait, I don't see what. Where?
You can run the show easily. There's a dazzling offensive, and as Tina mentioned, it's not the only place you'll see the clones.
Oh,
is on the dash. It's on the VXG as well.
See, the VXG really brings out the actual character of these.
That is really awesome.
Of these characters. Hey.
That's one of.
But
this might be better than Weiss's in my opinion because.
Yeah, the VXG is really cool again. It's just.
Oh yeah.
Yes, because she's a cat, and I love cats.
They did.
I do know that.
She's not chunky, but.
She even used a sheath that she doesn't use in the fight at all. Like, I thought they would at least use the whip here or something. They really didn't like.
But not chunky.
No.
Not like.
I've never seen a chunk. Have you
That's why they should have gone with better fits. That's all I'm saying. Like they should have gone with better fits, and it would have worked out so much better.
Like her dad's pretty
for the animation. We can see that we can see that the idea was there. We can see that the idea was there was Weiss, and that it technically works.
So I gotta move us along a little bit.
Technically.
Defend. Bonsai.
Oh, practically with Weiss as well,
A
but.
ball of yarn? Really? Do you expect me to roll around on the floor and play with it? In what world do you live in where attacking the innocent is the right thing to do? Call me a cat burglar. See what happens. Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
A lot of these lines are from the show. Like a lot of them, like. We're just I just listen to the show and just copy them.
That's really awesome.
So if you ever a big fan, you'll be like recognize like, oh, that's probably from season 1 and that's from season 3 or whatever because it's from the show.
That's exactly what you're looking for in a crossover, right? Is those little callbacks. Of course, last but certainly not least, we've got Yang, Terra. This one, the sound effects really blew me away for this one in particular. But
we got the sound effects from them, yeah.
So we got
it's just gonna be waltz, isn't
it? Exclusively from Rooster
Teeth.
So
She makes the gauntlet sounds. Like she does in the show.
Gotta have them, right? Can't be having anything less than the accuracy there. Yang, Terra, one.
The model looks nice.
2 in particular really impressed me yesterday. Whenever we got a chance to get a little bit of a preview of these.
She looks so good.
But this one required a lot of extra work, I believe, Alyssa. You were telling me yesterday with the changes to the model and how it was going to look.
Yeah, for sure. She was the first one that I got to kind of work on the, concept. I got to do the orthographics for her, and we changed a lot because she does not share the same body type with Terra.
Sure.
So we had to.
Oh, so we could have gone Raven.
Various spots. But I think height-wise, she was at least the closest to what
I'm
or
smart,
where
guys.
we were going, but I had to slim down some body parts because Terra's more like she's beefy and
Yeah.
muscular, and Yang has muscle, but is not Terra sized.
Not the goddess of the earth sized. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes.
Little bit different there, for sure. That I think these walls are super cool. And the
Wait,
shadow
they
sounds-
change an animation.
Dust walls, yes.
See, they go
Dust
from
walls,
3D
shatter
to
sound with
cartoon.
those.
What?
Just
Why?
sounds amazing. Of course, the monolith there, ready to shatter as well. At the exact same time.
Wait, she doesn't even use the
These
shotgun
little dust
gauntlet?
crystals are such a cool sort of tie-in between Yang and Terra. And then, of course, we have the ultimate Earth and Fury, where you're going to put crystals all over the enemy team and then get a chance to pop these as well.
Sure.
The dust to deployable kind of tie-in right there was a big part of this one for sure, right?
Yeah, we were trying to find a way to like
Imagine having
still read it.
Yang and not having her shotgun gauntlets having
And I
any
was
relevance.
discussing- I sent her so many options and all of my work in progress for the deployable stuff, and both of us agreed that the dust crystals were the way to go on this.
Yeah.
I think it turned out really, really well. Let's take a list, or actually we got a VXG, of course, that we got to take a look at before we listen.
Oh, this is cool.
I like her VXG.
Yeah, this one, very,
Um,
very cool. Moving
isn't
around,
that just
using
the
a little
one
bit of
that-
extra mobility via the gauntlets, of course, but also
That's like
looks so
50% the
good.
one that Raven has on his anime skin already.
I can just see
She flips backwards, but like
Flipping around.
Yeah.
Not a care in the world.
No.
the punching
Doing
the
her own
ground,
for
jumping
sure.
thing.
All right, let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Yang.
Attack! Defend! Hello! Yes! I love it when you're feisty. Yeah!
I'm gonna say
teamwork!
the one hand without the shotgun gauntlet kind of looks
What, you were
weird in
expecting
this
a
model.
joke? But the other team's already here! Oh, snap!
Looks a bit sickly.
This Yang is 99% done with all the disarm jokes. These training gloves are coming off. Nothing is going to keep me from my sister.
Okay, Tina.
That's a great laugh. That is really, really awesome.
It's amazing.
And then, of course, we also have a little bit of a surprise treat. It's classic Ruby Rose Thanatos. So now I believe this is the
Oh.
prestige reward. for this
Wait, so
battle
they actually did a
pass.
new model
Yeah,
for it?
120.
That's
level
right.
120.
Or is it just a color thing?
Make sure you get your games in so you can get this outfit from Volume 1, from Season 1 of Ruby. As we highlighted, it's all the Season 7
Interesting.
outfits. But this is the classic version of Ruby Rose.
Okay, some
It's
people are
a
gonna
really cool way
actually have to grind this battle
reward
pass
those
then.
players who are able to get towards the
That's an
end
interesting
of the
approach
battle
for what they
pass,
were doing with
and
that.
who are really big Ruby fans as well.
But then, do you even want the thing with that skin?
Sure.
Looks great. Look, we're really excited about this one. Really, just the entire collaboration we're very, very excited about, and we hope that all of you Ruby fans out there are as well. Now, it's not just these incredible skins that you get with the Battle Pass. We also have a lot of other items that are tied in with Ruby in the Battle Pass. We also have an announcer pack and avatar for each member of Team Ruby, a loading frame, and a music theme, rather. And then
Oh,
in game we have a
yeah.
couple things as well. Zwei Ward, did I say that properly?
Zwei.
Zwei, excuse me. Zwei Ward, a
Zwei.
bonsai global
Zwei is how
emote,
we say it. It's
and
German
a
again.
Ruby jump stamp. So, oh look, there it is. We got the we're doing the thing. We got the passive.
Only that we didn't execute.
Good work, stream, man. We got there.
Good job, Nop Nop.
We got there. We got there for sure. Now, we also have a couple notes about the Battle Pass in totality. We decreased the total experience from 85,000 to 75,000 for the Premium Pass. Players will have an additional 2 weeks to complete this pass because it will
Oh.
run until Season 7 launches. So you have plenty of time.
No way,
to
they
get
did
towards
that.
Classic Ruby Rose,
I
Thanatos, and her
said that they should make it
one.
longer.
The Battle Pass in total has 4 new Tier 3 skins and a
And Flair
prestige
said they
skin
wouldn't be
which
able
is
to because of the
free right
schedule.
now. And the
But they
Battle
actually
Pass
made it
costs
longer. That is.
750 gems
Wait,
or
why is there an exclamation mark in the item
1350
thing?
to
What was
unlock
that?
With a little bit of a head start, some bonus points for you off the rip.
What was
for this
that?
Battle Pass. Overall, for a big collaboration that we were able to do, a big crossover.
Okay, they
event
did
with something that
smart
we
move with
really
extending the
love.
battle pass, making it more accessible.
I think it was an
That's
A+,
good.
a slam dunk as
Yes.
F. would say. Are you guys excited to finally get a chance to play it because you've been working on these skins for so long?
For
Yeah.
sure.
Absolutely.
I've already equipped all my. I bought everything. I already equipped it all on my dev account, and I've just been like playing and every play test with it. It's I love it.
Wait, suddenly
I've
out
been
of
using
sync.
them all in depth for a while now, ever since they started getting put in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Any tips on the best announcer pack to use right off the bat if they've all got one?
Well,
What happened?
I'm a Blake fan, so I use Blake. But whoever, if you like Ruby the best, Ruby's is pretty funny. Weiss tries to be funny in her announcer pack, but it's Weiss, so.
Trying her best.
And then Yang's is pretty funny too. Yeah.
Awesome.
Because it's Barb, and Barb is hilarious. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me and talking about the brand new Ruby Battle Pass. Thank you guys at home for watching as well. Now we've got more content coming up, so make sure you stick around. Esports Weekly starting at 4:30, so right around 10 minutes
More
from now.
content.
This is our last show right before the placements and SMITE World Championship, so you want to get all your information while you can before we get all busy with the esports stuff. So make sure you stay tuned. But thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time here on the Update Show.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna mute this because otherwise copyright. You know what? The patch was... Okay, the Ruby part of the patch was more underwhelming than I expected. They changed less about the skins than I thought they would, and I am thoroughly not impressed. But I actually don't care that much from the perspective that the rest of the patch, in my opinion, was actually really good. I think the other skins were really good, and I especially think that the changes to guards and even to items were good. Let's see what happens to Arondight in the long run, but I'm kind of okay with the overall outcome, if that makes sense. Yeah, and Ruby is what it is. It's like, I think it could have done more with that, but it's just, yeah. You learn. All right, and with that, thank you guys very much for watching. I might see you for the patch notes review, which I will do soon, for the look at the numbers. And other than that, see you for the next one. Well, either later or tomorrow. DukeSloth, out.